Hi, I'm Alex Winter. I made this movie. I'm very proud of myself.
Well, I can't top that. Hi, I'm Alex Winter. and this is Josh Gad, by the way. Happens to be sitting next to me here. Directed a film called Adulthood, which Josh is in. It is a very, very black comic film noir about the impossibility of adulthood, hence the title. I love noir. I love the genre. I wanted to make another narrative, and I wanted to make something that was cast driven, like a core ensemble driven movie. So it's one of my favorite genres, going back to like Fritz Lang and Hitchcock, and then all the modern stuff. So themes are always what drives anyone, and I think trying to tell a story that had humor about the sort of generation that we're in which just being an adult, like having a very seemingly normal middle to even lower or slightly above middle class life is very, very challenging today. And so we really wanted to poke at what that meant in a number of different ways, which noir lets you do.
I play a character named Noah. He is a mess at being an adult, still a bit of a child himself. And he makes a rather gruesome discovery one day in his mother's basement alongside his sister, played brilliantly by Kaya Scalderia. And the two of them have to deal with the consequences of making a pretty monumental decision that they are then forced to live with in a series of ways that are somewhat chaotic and unpredictable.
I mean, it's a farce with teeth, really.
Yeah. Oh, the second I read the script and Alex pitched me the movie, it really did feel almost like a Coen Brothers film. Like, it's got that sense of impending dread mixed with this sublimely dark comedy that when you put these two things together, it's a tightrope high wire act. But Alex was so confident and so clear about his vision for it that we felt safe with this, oftentimes tonal mishmash of comedy, drama, and
violence.
Suspense. It's all of the above.
If you go back to filmmakers, I mean, like the reigning king would be Hitchcock, I would say. If you look at a movie like Shadow of a Doubt, which was a big influence for me on this film, which has it's an ensemble, it's has an incredibly taut script, and that you care about all the characters, but there's an element to it that's just bananas. So I think that the genre, like the idea of a noir that has sort of a comic element, is a genre unto itself. And once you establish what the rules of that world are, you just stick to them. And there's quite a bit of flexibility within that structure. And what it required for me to keep it from being a mishmash, obviously, was two things. One was keeping an ironclad lock on tone from my end, but also hiring actors that I knew were talented enough and dexterous enough to be able to thread that needle. All of the characters have to do this, but Josh, I'd say specifically, has to traverse a pretty specific path that is at turns very funny, but has a lot of pathos and as well. And you have to get actors that can do that. It's imperative. Otherwise, otherwise the actors can't hold the tone. I think that was critical, was getting, an ensemble of really talented people who I knew could manage those shifts. And then for me, it's editorial, it's DP, it's music, it's sound, just making sure everything serves that master down to the sound design. I've been working with the same designer for years, Lon Bender, who's a genius, did everything from Coal Miner's Daughter to Revenant and everything in between.
That's why you'll hear a lot of bear noises.
Exactly.
You just reuse them.
And it's amazing what sound can do in terms of helping you with tone. It's a painstakingly designed movie in post on the sound side to sort of construct a world that stayed continuous through its sound bed. So there's all kinds of little goofy things you do.
Our arcs sort of are two ships passing in the night, where I am devolving in many ways, she is evolving in many ways. And when you're shooting a movie of this nature, which has a healthy but also stingy budget at times, and you have
a true indie,
and you have the limitations of time. So we were shooting out of sequence in a way that traditionally wouldn't matter, but with a movie like this, there are moments where we are manic and moments in which we are very full of sort of quietude, and finding where you are in this journey and having to turn it on and off in a very rapid manner. It's usually the adage goes in our industry, hurry up and wait, right? Setups take a long time. This was hurry up, let's go constantly. And Alex was always there, again, with the clarity of vision to sort of direct us towards where we are emotionally in any given moment and where we are methodically in any given moment, where what has just happened, what is about to happen in a way that informs what we need to get in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and it was also specific that Kaya and Josh independently are both what I call sneak attack actors, where you think they have one persona. I mean, they have many because they can play many different types of roles, but you think they have one thing and they have a whole other thing. And I knew that about both of them going in. And I was just like, I'm going to completely use this to my advantage. So the film is kind of built as a sneak attack in a way, where you think Noah is one person and you think that his sister is another person, Megan. And they both end up two very different people by the end of the film. But they're also playing to both of these actors' strengths of doing that. And I don't want to give the movie away, but there's just one scene at the end that I always so happy about, even in edit, because they have so transformed themselves. And to Josh's point, there's probably day 4. You know what I mean? Because of the shooting out of sequence. So it wasn't like they had to work themselves into a state. They could just turn it on or turn it off. But it is transformative when you watch the film in a way that's very satisfying.
That's it for the questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.